This is the Skyborne Smart Plus backpack. This backpack is roughly around $387, which converts roughly into £314, depending on when you're watching this video, with conversions and also sales. This backpack is a 30 litre. For reference, this is what the backpack looks like on me, and I am 5'6". This is the shape of the bag. It remains the same whenever it is fully packed and unpacked, which is great because it can just sit up by itself. It is 19.4 inches, which is 49 centimeters in length, 14.2 inches, which is 32 centimeters in width, 9.3 inches, which is 23.6 centimeters in depth, and the weight is 3.2 pounds, which is 1.45 kg. This backpack is pretty lightweight. There isn't really enough flexibility within the bag, so if you're thinking of using it as a personal item, and there is that small chance of with other bags that you can squish it down and shove it in, just measure up their requirements against this backpack and see whether or not it's actually going to fit, because there isn't that flexibility where you can kind of squish the bag together. This is what it is, and this is how it stays, and it's quite rigid in its style and the way it sits. So if you are looking at it for a personal item, definitely go measure that up. But it will fit in the overhead locker as your carry-on. This backpack is advertised as the supercar of backpacks. I definitely get a very Herschel, feel to this backpack, which I have previously owned and used quite a lot, but this one has more of like a premium style to it. And the reason I make the comparison is down to the buckles here. If you know the backpack, the Herschel backpack, then you will kind of get that comparison well enough. But with this backpack, the hardware and everything else is definitely more premium. Especially with how taper tight the Aqua YKK zippers are. And overall, they run very smooth. It is waterproof. The backpack is made up of ballistic nylon, leather, polyester and aluminium rubber. It is an acquired taste in terms of the style. It really is going to be down to preference. This could feel a bit outdated to other people, whereas maybe some people prefer that outdated look, or they prefer this style in comparison to another style, such as maybe like Patagonia, Osprey. This is quite unique in its appearance, and it really is going to be down to your own preference. The Dopp Kit here is detached and reattached by the Fidlock magnetic clips, which is quite handy to just take off when you need it. And then you have this extra security if you want to hook this around with this aluminium G hook that attaches nicely around this little hook here. It isn't as easy to take off whenever the G hook is in. It is quite fiddly and causes a bit of a nuisance, especially if you're on the go, but it is there for extra security. There is this kind of, I don't know if you can see it, this creepy like smile that goes on in the bag whenever the Dopp Kit is removed, which I at first was like, oh, that's so cute, and then it just became kind of daunting. The Dopp Kit is branded here nicely. It is so well put together, I have to say, and then the branding here is underneath too, so you don't lose that whenever you take away the Dopp Kit. And then it is nicely opened. You do have this little seatbelt type material hook here that you can kind of hook it up if you are in the bathroom or you need it and you want to hang it like so. It does run about 18 inches in length whenever it is fully opened, and this makes it quite handy, this little magnetic Dopp Kit here for running through security. And you might want to put your liquids in this beautiful laminated part of the bag, and everything is visible, and then you can put anything else there. I don't know specific airlines if you have to use the liquids bag or if you can use something like this, which makes it quite handy because it's all visible there, and then you can put anything else here. Just note though, a bit of a downfall is that if you are packing this up with your liquids and it is fully packed and you're trying to squeeze something in here, whenever it is folded, then it can become a bit resistant and there isn't really enough space. So you kind of have to even it out. Whatever you're packing in here, just be aware that you'll probably get just a little bit in here. Personally, I don't really like this type of mesh, but it is strong and you know that it is going to last. On the side of the bag here, you kind of have this hidden pocket, which is, the zip here is kind of hidden by the exterior material, which is nice because it's not overly noticeable. The backpack is quite dark and it does come in just this color black, so it isn't that flashy or visible to the eye, which is great because then you can get away with hidden pockets like this. And then on this side here and in this pocket, you do have retractable key lash, which I absolutely love. There is that seatbelt material inside, which is given this blue, and you can actually detach this retractable key lash if you want and attach anything else that you might be able to fit around that little blue seatbelt material. But this is quite handy, especially if you're on the go and you attach that and then you can just open the door or whatever that you want to attach, and that might be very much more convenient in comparison to just the seatbelt material, which there is no give to it, so you do actually have to unhook it. In this compartment, it runs 18 inches in length and 18 inches in height, so you can fit medium to smaller items in there, but just be aware if you are trying to get this as a personal item and you're sneakily trying to do it, then I would remove the Dopp Kit and probably not pack out this front because that'll just make it a bit more bulkier. Also on the side here, you do have your water bottle compartment, which I love, but first of all, I just want to get into this little pocket here that is above, and with the bag, you do get this luggage tag, which is quite nice, gives it that travel premium feel to it, and you can obviously place your name and details in there should you lose your bag, and that's quite nice to have. And a nice little attachment to the backpack, especially for the price. You would expect a little bit more of those types of features attached with this backpack, so that slides nicely in there if you're not using it. And also this pocket fits my iPhone 13, and that fits nicely in there with a bit of room on top as well. And then it does fit my 500ml Super Sparrow water bottle in here too, and it has this elastic on the side, so it kind of scoops around the product that is in there. And also when it is removed, it kind of retracts back into its normal shape, so there isn't anything just sticking out, and it can be used whenever you need it. Then if we spin the bag round, on the other side you have the real anti-theft feature on this backpack, which is the combination lock here. It is easy to use, but it only locks in the back zips here, which is to the laptop compartment, which I guess is quite handy, but I do worry about the front compartment. But that is kind of secured by these buckles, which I'll get into in a second. But that is there if you want to attach and have a bit more security. It is easy to use, so you just clip it out and clip it back in, and obviously get your own code. Then down here is the kind of old-fashioned USB port where you attach your power bank inside, and it'll have the cable, and then you can attach your phone cable out here. For the price, this is absolutely a downfall. Within like 2 seconds of using this bag, the clip here broke off, so it was literally no force at all and it snapped off, and that was just to cover the USB port. And I think that just brought it a bit down for me in terms of just the price, and the overall bag and the quality of materials are absolutely amazing. And then this just little bit attention to detail would have been great if this had a bit more stronger material. I don't know how, but yeah, it snapped within like 2 seconds. Aren't given your own power bank, so just be aware of that. This feature does come in handy for long haul flights, or if you're on the go or you really need to charge your phone, then you have your power bank and you can do that, and you have access to doing that on the go. But they don't provide you with a power bank, which I think for the price I would have liked. I do like the style in comparison to maybe like Matane or the Sienna Nordius Smart Backpack, where it is bulky. This is slimline, but unfortunately, yeah, it broke. Then moving on to the bottom of the bag, you have a zipped compartment. This is why the backpack stays up so straight, because this is so flat. And if you just open this bad boy, then you have like a shoe compartment that you can use, or for dirty laundry or anything that you can make use of the space. It is there, but be aware it really does compromise the space that's inside in the clamshell opening, which I'll get into in a minute. But that is there should you want to use it, and it gives it that travel style backpack. Now moving on to the back of the bag, I'm just going to go into the padding here on the back. So you do have this meshed memory foamed padding. I think for the price I would have preferred maybe a bit more higher end, and also just my own preference. I get it because they have this anti-theft pocket here where you can place your passport or anything that you might feel a bit more secure in having that on your back. But my main thing, especially for support and airflow, and in regards to this type of material, so this is quite like sticky if you were sweating and this was stuck to your back, is that the mesh is kind of on both sides, and then you can actually put in the luggage slit as well if the padding was here and then down at the bottom, because it just gives you that bit more support. But they've done it like this. It doesn't compromise the comfort or anything like that. I think it is absolutely grand. And then they have the luggage slit. I love the fact that it does run like so, because then you can just place the bag on and have access to the top loading feature on the bag, as well as the front compartments too. Just as we are on the back here, and speaking about this kind of anti-theft feature where you can place your passport or whatnot in there, over on the Skyborne website they do offer some lovely passport holders. I have one here that I actually have been using, and I find it quite handy even just to have not even your passport in there, but just like your cards and stuff if you're on the go and you don't want to be carrying a huge bag. So that's over on their website as well, and I absolutely love this. The padding also runs onto the straps. Again, comfort is not compromised in regards to just my preference of having the mesh on both sides and then at the bottom. For me, kind of just prompts the posture, but it does run onto the straps as well. There is a range of flexibility. Again, just being aware of a hot day and having this backpack on your back, especially with this, there isn't and that's on your bare skin, you know, it's just going to be sticky, but you don't really feel it. And the mesh does run onto the straps, so that is protected also. And then you have some lovely branding here too, and you can't externally attach anything because they are looped. On the straps here, then you have the sternum strap, which is great in terms of just moving it up and down should you want. I'm sure there is a way to detach it, but it feels like it might snap if I do that. The hardware here, I would have expected a bit more. It is that kind of plastic style, and I think for the price they could have done a bit better. Nonetheless, it just moves up and down to suit your own build and height, you'd think. But I feel as though women weren't thought about, or anyone with a chest area in regards to this backpack, because the sternum strap especially, it is grand without the sternum strap, but if you need to distribute the load and you need to put on the sternum strap, then if you have a bigger chest area, then you're going to struggle to breathe, especially if you are putting it up there where it's supposed to be. There isn't enough really of the material, I felt anyways. There is a lot of stretch to it, but for me anyways, it was a bit of a tight fit, and that's with someone smaller, so I can imagine that if you have a bigger chest area, then it definitely is going to suffocate. Moving on to this side of the strap, you have this little pocket, which I've only just recently beginning to appreciate on bags, because if you're on the go, then you can place your AirPods, cards, or anything like that in there, and it becomes quite handy. You also have straps here again that you can attach. If you're not moving down the sternum strap, you can attach anything externally should you wish. I wouldn't be using this backpack going up a mountain or hiking or anything like that, because you can definitely get other bags like that. But if you're on the go and you need things externally to help with getting there efficiently, then it's there. It is a shame about the material, because they do have a great dangle stopper here. But there isn't a lot of dangle because there isn't a lot of material. As mentioned before, this little combination lock takes you to the back pocket here, which is where the laptop compartment is. So it just runs, and it runs right down and then slightly flaps over like so. On this, we gotta have chocolate on, is your laptop compartment. Now, some of it I love and some of it is definitely outdated. We do not need to see well, for me anyways, we do not need to see these little emoticons on this backpack. It feels very childlike and techy, I guess. It's just not something I'm into, but I do absolutely love the fleece material in the laptop compartment, and that runs right down for your laptop and also into the kind of tablet compartment. Again, you can check out this little strap for what you can fit in there, and then the rest of the material is alright. I'm not really a fan of this, but it all is quite secured and well put together in terms of the elastics on the side. Again, it is going to be down to preference. For me, it's just not something I'm like, wow, love, apart from this kind of teddy bear field material. Then in front you have the two little mesh compartments. Again, not a fan of the mesh, but it is strong and sturdy, so you do know that you're getting a great quality mesh here. And then it is held on by some elastic, so you can put like smaller items in there, such as cables, chargers, USB ports, anything like that. There is plenty of organization that isn't overwhelming, and then you just have this, so there isn't like another organizational pocket right in front of the laptop compartment. This is what you have, and this is what you get. On the front here then, you do have these buckle style straps. You do not have to undo these to open the bag. They are clipped on by some buttons here. That's two, and then the bag is kind of flipped over like so, and then you have the opportunity, which I do love about this backpack, is that you can use it as a top loading, so you have control over how far the zips are going down, and you have the option to see what you want and need. Even though this is a dark bag, the blue kind of complements and gives a bit of brightness to it. And you do have the opportunity to just put it down like so, or if you are packing this bag, and you can, because it has all the great features for that, then it has like this clamshell opener, right? And in here, I wish more backpacks had this, is that the compressor here when you have clothes in there, because then if you are opening the bag like so, nothing is going to fall out. And as mentioned, you do have your cable here for your power bank that you can place in there, and then you have a space for it as well, so that's just not flapping about either. As mentioned, if you are using the bottom compartment of this backpack, then it is going to compromise the space quite a bit. So I guess just be smart with your packing, and if you are using your bag for that, you can also use it for other things, and I'm sure you can put your imagination to it. But in front of the bag, directly in front, you do have one organizational pocket, which grand. I do love this kind of style of bag where there is just space for me to pack it how I want, but I can see for the price some people might want a bit more oomph to it, but it is this classy sleek backpack. And I get that with the backpack, and I get how outdated it can feel sometimes, but some people like that. This backpack is for anyone looking for a smart, modular, well-rounded, waterproof, one-shaped backpack that has anti-theft features. It is for the traveler who appreciates and will use the features, especially for the price. I would use it for business trips, work commuting. It is made for the business traveler in mind, with minimalist, effective design. It is sleek, stylish, but not overly flashy. It is made with great materials, ensuring a long-lasting backpack. I did want to quickly mention their slinger here, because I do use this quite often and I find it really handy, especially when I don't want to use a backpack and I'm out and about and I just want something that I can have in front of me as well. You can wear this in different ways. You can wear it like so, or as a bum bag, or as people call it, a fanny pack. Funny. And it is so secure, sleek, cushioned. I absolutely love it. So you can head over and check this out as well. I will leave the links for the backpack, this bad boy, and the passport pocket here, and you can go ahead and check that out. If you do happen to have a wee gander over on their website and you're thinking about purchasing this backpack, then I would be forever grateful if you could use the links in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next review.